Another type of global solution network is governance networks. Now, these are networks that have actually achieved or been granted the right or responsibility of non-institutional global governance. They govern something on the planet, but they're not controlled by states. And this is one of the most extraordinary outcomes of the digital revolution, is that we have multi-stakeholder networks rather than state-based institutions that now govern an important global resource. Now, one of the most important of these is the internet itself, which is governed by an enormous global collaboration of individuals, civil society organizations, corporations, and governments can be involved as well. All organized within the support of nation states, many nation states, but no government or state-based institution controls it. Now, a governance network may combine a whole number of the other types of global solution networks. It can contain a knowledge network, a policy network, there can be an advocacy network, there can be a standards network. We could have a platform for a governance network, there could be an operational delivery network, and so on. Let's just take the internet ecosystem as an example. It has standards networks like the Internet Engineering Task Force of the W3C Consortium. It has policy networks like the Internet Governance Forum. And it has an operational and delivery network, ICANN. ICANN is the Internet Corporation for Assigned Names and Numbers. And it's part of this autonomous system that ensures information access for people around the world. It's bottom-up, consensus-driven, and multi-stakeholder, but it actually delivers something. It delivers domain names and other functionality that's key to the internet. So the 21st century phenomenon of globalization is creating increasing pressure to rethink the role of nation-states in global problem solving. The limitations of states come from their strengths, their independence, their sovereignty, their power, their ability to have a monopoly over military force, to raise taxes, but that makes their efforts somewhat parochial, insufficient, and even outmoded. Another kind of governance network is being focused on cities. Cities, for example, and their mayors have demonstrated a capacity for problem solving through their involvement with organizations like C40, or the proposed Global Parliament of Mayors. Now, a Global Parliament of Mayors could be an example of a global governance network. It would involve knowledge sharing, standards development, policy formulation that lead to solution delivery. Mayors and cities that are really multi-stakeholder in their essence could come together and offer a new model of soft global governance. Now, another critical problem that nation states have failed to address in spite of the urgency of the situation is climate change. There are signs of progress there, in part because of multi-stakeholder advocacy networks that are causing states to take action. But if we could govern the internet with a multi-stakeholder ecosystem, could we govern something like the climate? Well, a new governance model may be the only hope for developing solutions to preserve the planet. A governance network, a meta-network for global governance of the climate, could increase collaboration amongst the hundreds of active networks working on climate change initiatives around the world. It could help mobilize public action and strengthen leadership while developing financial resources, best practices, and the innovation required to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Unlike traditional institutional governments, a governance network focuses, or could in this case focus on climate change, creating a set of targets for action, and hold all of their individual organizations and governments accountable for results. This is a sort of second-generation approach to global problem solving that's made possible through the work of what we call in our taxonomy a governance network. If we could govern the internet and we could govern the climate through a global governance network, what else could we govern? Maybe you're working in an area where you could collaborate together with other types of global solution networks to lift the bar and start to take steps towards actually governing that resource.